I don't care what anybody says, this was the best race of the entire season. Hey, what's up guys, it's Sam here. How are you guys doing? It's having a fantastic day. I can never start a video or end a video with the perfect phrase. I always stutter it. Hey, what's up guys, it's Sam. And then at the ending, I'm always like, okay, this is a good comment. I can never do it correct, but I'm gonna do it again. So let's restart the video. Wow, that was the best race of the season. Don't at me or something like that. Hey, what's up guys, it's Sam here. How are you guys doing today? Because it's like a fantastic day. I think I kind of started, but who cares? Alright guys, we had the best race at Bristol. It was the best race of the entire season. I don't care what anybody says. So much excitement, so much amazingness. Maybe the finish at Chicagoland was better, but that was just the finish at Chicagoland. The entire Bristol race was the best race of the season. I don't care what anybody says. It was the best race. Let's get right into the race rundown. The race was moved up 1 hour due to rain. There was supposed to be rain in the forecast, and it was a good call that they did that because the rain actually came like right after the race. So that was a good call moving it up 1 hour ahead. But it also meant that there was not going to be as much night racing, but it was all right. The race was amazing from the start. Right as they got going, there was a wreck on lap 2. Literally as they got going. Big, huge crash. Kyle Busch was involved. Casey Kane was involved. There's a few other guys involved. So yeah, pretty big crash. Got back going. The stage finishes were amazing. Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney were racing for the stage 1 finish. And Ryan Blaney barely edged out Kevin Harvick for that spot by 0.03 of a second. I don't get the differences between 0.03 of a second and 3/1000 of a second. Isn't 3/1000 3,000? You'd think. And then coming into the end of stage 2, Joey Logano and Chase Elliott were racing for the end of the stage, and I think Joey Logano got it. I'm actually not I don't remember who won that stage, but I do remember that it was them both racing pretty hardly for the end of the stage. Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch were also racing for the free pass spot, but we'll talk about that in a minute. A bunch of lap leaders. There was no main dominant car throughout the whole race. There was like 3 cars that both led over 100 laps. So, I mean, that was pretty cool not to have one dominant guy, because you never like that. You never like to see the same guy dominating, leading the entire race. It's never fun. And if you do like that, Formula 1. Go watch Formula 1, because that's the sport that's made for that. Kyle Busch also had an amazing rally. He wrecked on lap 2, the beginning of the race crash. He actually wrecked and got some pretty significant damage. It wasn't the worst damage, but it was some pretty significant damage. His whole back bumper came off the car. The side of the car was pretty damaged. So there was some damage, but it wasn't the most significant damage you've ever seen. At that point, I thought Kyle Busch was done for the race, and he wasn't. Trust me, he was not. Kyle Busch got back up. He was 2 laps down in like 33rd place after that crash happened, and worked his way back up to 1 lap down, and then coming at the end of stage 2, he was working for the free pass position, racing Kevin Harvick for the free pass position for the 20th place at the end of stage 2. He ended up getting it, and he got back on the lead lap. He was working his way up into the top 10, ended up getting that. He made his way all the way up to 2nd place until he wrecked Martin Truex Jr. by accident. People are mad at Kyle Busch. I saw a video of a fan trying to fight him after the race. People are mad at Kyle Busch for that, but it was an accident. And even if it wasn't an accident, I think they're pretty even now because of the 2017 Indianapolis crash where Martin Truex Jr., I believe it was intentional, but well, I don't believe he intentionally wrecked him, but I believe he intentionally tried to move him out of the way, which doing that early in the race, we're not close to the end of the race, is pretty obnoxious. So I think they're even now. But yeah, Truex intentionally wrecked Kyle Busch. Maybe not intentionally, but intentionally moved him out of the way, in my opinion. At the 2017 Brickyard 400, ended up crashing Kyle Busch. I don't think that was his intention, but he did end up doing that. Kyle Busch, totally accident this time. Again, even if it was on purpose, probably didn't mean to actually end up wrecking him, just meant to, move him out of the way. But I don't even think he meant to do that. I think it was a total accident. So if you're mad at Kyle Busch, 1, you're just a hypocrite, and 2, he did not mean to do it. So, people are just looking for any reason to be mad at Kyle Busch. And I understand there is many things to be mad at Kyle Busch about. I tweeted this. How dare Kyle Busch get a bad drive off the corner with a heavy damaged race car at Bristol? get a bad drive off the corner, and touch the almighty, legendary Martin Truex. How dare he make such a risky move and touch the Lord King, Savior of the Earth, Martin Truex Jr.? How dare he make such a move? Wow, what a disgrace. But Kyle Busch did not mean to do it, but people love Martin Truex Jr. for some reason. I don't like him at all, as you guys probably know. I don't like anybody who wins a lot unless if it's Kyle Busch. I just don't like it. Yeah, he got up to second, wrecked with Truex, and then he had to restart. His pit stops were pretty difficult because he had to his fuel can would not get in all the way. He was actually not going to make it to the end of the race because he was down 7 gallons of fuel. He might have been able to save, but it sucked to know that after all that he would not have won anyway. That really sucks. But he got a pit stop, and then they got back going under green, and it was actually good for a few laps. He ran around 10th, and then caution came out, and then another restart happened, and then Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, and Jimmy Johnson were all racing really hard for the position. Can't blame anybody there, racing hard. Bristol, I can understand that. And Chris Buescher got Kyle Busch into the wall. Kyle Busch went down a tire, spun around, and the crowd went wild. And that pissed me off. My thing is, Kyle Busch, he knows that all the haters are going to come at him after this. So he's like, you know what? Let me fuel the haters. Because Kyle Busch gets fueled off the haters and the lovers. He gets fueled off of noise. When something doesn't, like the people who don't really care about Kyle Busch, the people who are like, you know what? I don't care. I don't like him. I don't hate him. Those are the people that don't fuel him at all. That's his downfall. So when he makes more haters or more fans, that's what helps him. That's what fuels him. So when he does stuff like this, he doesn't mean it. Like when he made that interview at Kansas a few weeks ago where he's like, it's all me, pure talent. The team did nothing. The track sucked. It's just totally all me. He's just kidding. He's doing that because he knows that people make a big deal about it. So Kyle Busch, that's my thoughts on him. Love Kyle Busch, always have. Favorite driver, go Kyle Busch. Yeah, he ended up finishing 20th after he spun around, and he ended up finishing 20th, which kind of sucked. 3 laps down. After all of that work. I think the fact that he got up to 20th and he got up to second place is amazing. Made an amazing rally. Yeah, Kurt Busch ended up winning the race, which is awesome. Kurt Busch breaks a 58 race winless streak. He only led 26 laps. He wasn't the dominant car of the race, but he did pretty good. I gotta give Kurt Busch some props. Plus, his car is pretty well damaged. Kurt Busch used to be the even more hated Busch brother, but now he's just, people like him. People like Kurt Busch now. The Busch brothers used to have a bad rap, but now people like Kurt Busch. I mean, people really do. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see Kurt Busch get back in victory lane. But yeah, if we take a look at the point standings, Kyle Busch is still leading the regular season champion points by 43 points. So I think he'll probably get it. 20th place was not a good run for him, but I mean, that hurt. But I think plus Harvick got the stage points, which Kyle Busch never ended up getting. So yeah, that helped Harvick, and it only hurt Kyle Busch. So, but I think Darlington would be a good race for Kyle Busch. So I think Kyle Busch will end up winning the regular season champ. Hey guys, this is going to be the end of this episode. We're not going to have a video of RaceInformer on Friday because there is no Cup race this weekend. We might do it for the Xfinity, but I don't talk about Xfinity on this show, but we have Road America coming up next week. I don't talk about Xfinity on the show. I might have an episode, but probably not. If there's any news that comes out this week, I might make an episode about it, but probably not. But yeah, guys, if you guys like this video, please leave a like on it. If you dislike this video, please leave a dislike and a hate comment telling me exactly what I did wrong. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, goodbye, bunny rabbits.